Now, light industry places like this one are probably unfinished, I think, cause there's no zombies, but you know what you can find, and in spades. Bentornati! Welcome back to the Cataclysm with our hero Saran Compton, the military corpse disposal specialist. My apologies, this video is going to be a bit weird, I mean weirder than normal. The reason is my microphone track got corrupted beyond repair, so I'm doing a voiceover of my own video. The video is probably also going to be shorter than usual, as I'll be just commenting on the important stuff, leaving out most of the unrecoverable fluff. So as you see, I'm trying the Chibi Ultica tile set. It is the ultimate Cataclysm with the Chibi character sprites from the MS Zorro. Ultica looks great, but I feel like the characters and monster sprite weren't made with what I would consider a actual play zoom level in mind. Anyway, let's see how this feels. We can always change it later. In the previous episode, we cleaned out the town of Orland. A Migo helped us a lot, practically killing 90% of the zombies in here, but at the end we got into an argument because he wanted to eat my eyeballs, so I had to shoot it dead with my M17. We also looted all the buildings and loaded the goodies on the road roller. Among the interesting stuff we found a bottle jack. What I would love to do with said bottle jack is start collecting good tires from cars, and a very good reason to do so is that we previously found a solar car that, apart from the tires, looked in pretty good condition. So let's see if this vehicle here has any usable tires. Looks like it does. Oops, we still lack one of the needed tools, however, which throws a wrench in my plan. I swear the pun was even in the original audio. No, really. You can listen here. Well, that throws a wrench in my plan. Anyway, we can still go ahead with the second part of the plan, which involves using a vehicle. The road roller will have to do for now, and explore, do some maybe opportunity looting, look for points of interest, etc, etc. I'm especially looking for tools, as you know, especially wrenches, but also rifles. I love my M17, but it just doesn't pack enough of a punch, so let's keep an eye out for soldier body sights. Okay, so first stop is going to be this radio tower over here. On second thought though, first stop is going to be this semi-truck over here, because it might have some diesel in it, and look at that, it's almost like if I knew already. So let's siphon this diesel in the tanks of the road controller, road roller, road controller actually sounds even better, so you know what, there, now I'm driving a road controller. On third thought, let's stop again in here since there's a number of dead bodies on the ground, plus one that still walks. No, wait, all on the ground. Looks like a bunch of scientists was trying to buy drugs from these drug dealers in here, and the drug dealers whipped out their guns, and then a scientist opened up a portal into a parallel dimension of abject terror, because that's what you do when somebody threatens you with a gun. And this blue-looking dude came out of the portal and mediated a ceasefire and also life for everybody. Or maybe the two groups died in a totally unrelated manner. Anyway, the portal device comes with me. Curious fact, the Grakens, they are not hostile and edible. So now we proceed towards the radio tower. Let's hope for no shenanigans like, I don't know, something silly like a prison bus full of zombie convicts, cops and police dogs. And oh, look, there's just a group of tourists in here that were left stranded after maybe a rabid dog occupied their bus. So let's show them the way towards the nearest town. Come on, over here, Hebron tourist group, this way. Stay together, please. Alright, so you guys can keep going in that direction. and you'll be alright. Now if you'll excuse me, I have a radio tower to climb. Right, there's still the rabid dog in the bus, so we'll have to spearfish it out of the bus ourselves. Will it come out on its own? Nope, we gotta open the door for it, then run backwards while stabbing it repeatedly. A point of caution, this only works if it's one dog. Don't do this if there's more than one, because you'll have to like run the entire time, and you can, well, literally run out of stamina very quickly, with really dire consequences. So if it's one, it's generally alright. Okay, so now we climb the tower to the very top and take a very good look around with our... Okay, now we climb all the way down back to the vehicle and grab the survivor telescope, and then there it is. Okay, now we can see a lot of things in the distance, like for example this light industry complex here and a weird thingy in the middle of the woods. Now our telescope is normally so potent that we can read signs on top of buildings from very, very far away. But this here is kind of strange because there's just a sign that says forest. At this point I'm imagining it's probably the forest director's office. Then let's see what else. Here, right outside Goffstown, we can see a shooting range, and oh wow, look at all the spent casings dramatically reflecting the light. I think the special effects were a little exaggerated for this section here. Then what else? A gas station, a restaurant, hunting supply stores. That's interesting. We could go take a look, but not before stopping to siphon out the last drops of fuel out of these two vehicles. Alright, all done. Goffstown, or Gofftown? I don't even remember how that is pronounced. Gofftown, here we come. So the road is infested by giant ants, but that's not a huge deal for the road controller. A few expert turns here and there, and just like that, we can now be delayed by yet another wacky encounter. Zomborgs. So what's a Zomborg? A mix of dead human and even deader technology. This twisted mess of steel and flesh moves like a puppet in the hands of an angry toddler. Its robotic components seem to have shut down, and new bands of flesh have wrapped around them, tugging and pulling them in awkward directions. Bits of metallic skeleton and armor plating jut from its decaying flesh. What a lovely sight. Of course, such an immersive and impressive moment would not go uninterrupted by Migos. You know what though? Let's get out of the way and let's see what a Migo can do against Zomborgs. This is actually a really nice way for you to gauge the power level of an enemy you never knew about. If there's like a Migo that you already kind of know, you can see how they fight each other, and whoever survives is the stronger. So it looks like the two Zomborgs have almost killed the they're dead. But you know what? The Migo's already almost dead, so we could whip out our M17 and finish it off. So there is a couple of bullets, and it's probably gonna be done. So let's make it 3 bullets even. There. Look at that beautiful splatter on the ground. Okay, finally, after this last diversion, we can get a good look at the shooting range we saw from the radio tower. And would you look at that? It wasn't just the special effects. The ground is literally covered with spent casings of all different types. Is there anything else apart from casings in here? Maybe a gun was forgotten in here or something like that? Nope. No, only casings. Casing and earplugs. I guess that this would be the one place where it would make sense to loot earplugs. Alright, so I guess at this point we're going to check out the hunting supply store then. There's one here right next to the apartment towers. Except that on second thought it's closed. Really, I'm not kidding, it's closed. No business, metal door, completely shut, closed. You can't just get inside a closed store in the middle of the day, right? You do that with a cover of darkness, of course, and so that's why we're going to check out the local forest office instead. So back in the road controller, once again, we are off for the forest thingy. So we are approaching now the quotes forest here, and we start hearing weird noises. Let's hear some of the noises. Apart from the sound effects themselves, I wasn't really able to get any indication from the game regarding what this is or even exactly where this comes from, because there was like no log, no sound icon, anything like that. To me though, it sounded like laser weaponry being fired underground. No biggie, that's absolutely normal for a forest basement. In fact, slightly less ordinary is this open-air mass grave in here, teeming with zombies and even a couple of feral humans. And no, I don't want to know why the feral humans are there at the mass grave. Thank God there's no wet chewing sound effects in the game yet. So I'm here thinking I don't want to go near the mass grave, but then I see these two Grakens looking mighty suspicious, so I think, where do they come from? And sure enough, the Grakens were from a nearby military body site. So I devised this devilish plan. I keep a distance and let the Grakens get chased by the dead hordes. And when they all are far away enough, I can sneak right in and snatch a few guns. But right when I was about to get all those rifles, nothing. I just got the guns. It worked fantastically. I just felt like the narration was a bit lacking in terms of tension here. So in the end, from this body site, I got an M249, an M110 with 4 attachments, an M27, an M16, and a couple of M4s. Unfortunately, no M1 or M2 or 3. We're also missing all the numbers of M from 5 to 15, 17 to 26, 28 to 109, and whatever. I mean, they all shoot bullets and do roughly 45 points of damage at around 15 tiles, except the M110A1, which goes up to 23 tiles because it's a sniper rifle. Even though 23 tiles is not really sniper range, because there's no sniper range in this game, and the ammo is even hard to find. But anyway, good that we have a good selection of rifles now. Oh, and I almost forgot. There was a power armor helmet laying on the ground. This is actually more common than you think. This happened to me many times. My personal explanation is that maybe in the lore, right before the Cataclysm, they ended up producing a lot more power armor helmets than suits by, I don't know, by mistake, and so soldiers started using them as, I don't know, maybe stools that you can also wear on your head, or something like that. So at this point, I found weapons, so you know what I would really like? A good glass of milk, possibly straight out of a cow. So I went straight for this dairy farm here, except half of the cows had zombified already and were trying to eat the brains of the good ones. So in the end, with sadness in my heart, I had to leave the cows to their cruel fate and proceed towards this light industry complex. Now, light industry places like this one are probably unfinished, I think, because there's no zombies, there's not a single creature in sight, in fact. But you know what you can find, and in spades? Tools. In here I found toolboxes, cordless impact wrenches, jackhammers, workshop toolboxes. Don't ask me what's the difference, they're now just containers anyway for the tools inside. And I also think the tools are maybe randomized or something. So I've got to get past this chain link door, so I thought, you know what, I'll pick this lock. Yes, I'm gonna open this with my lockpick. Here we go, a couple of good swings with the lockpick, and we can get our hands on the juicy tools beyond. Look at this, we got a bow saw, metalworking chisel, tire iron, which is one of the new types of wrenches, an electric jackhammer, so we have access to both electric and gas-powered jackhammers right away. And there's this thing called a hot cut, which is apparently another kind of metalworking chisel, except I don't know if it's used for anything. It doesn't have a crafting quality to it, but it's cool. Then there's of course the office area, in which I found a few books, but nothing too exciting. Except there's an entire second wing to this place, so I get in there and you know what I find? An electric polisher, which apparently now has a crafting quality to it, and 4 more jackhammers. Yep, this place had 6 jackhammers of both kinds waiting to be found. Now, I've only ever been a programmer in my entire life, so far from me to judge a light industry workplace, but do you really need to have all those jackhammers handy? What do you use them for? Were you guys like carving goods directly out of this site's bedrock layer? Anyway, there's also a pair of bolt cutters lying around, adjustable wrench and a hacksaw, finally. A very nice haul, all things considered. I think we have found all the newly added wrench type tools, except from a normal wrench, of course, which is absolutely not going to backfire on us in any way. No siree. So that's it. Nice succinct summary of my corrupt Zomborg voiced episode. I hope you enjoyed it, despite my bad jokes. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next episode. Alla prossima!